Hi, my name is Isabella Briones, and today I will be unpacking the key concept of creativity and my findings on the subject, which has been developed through participating in the unit of Scientist Artist Teacher at Western Sydney University. Through my investigation, I've learnt many things about art and science and their connections between one another. Azu and Goyle suggest that the use of both art and science provide an insight to ideas about the world, enabling the viewers to form connections between and beyond those ideas being conveyed. I was posed with the challenge of thinking critically about one of 5 creative processes, in which creativity stood out the most to me. But then I asked myself, what is creativity? And what is the connection between art and science? In the simplest way of answering this, it's the use of using your original ideas to create a piece of work or invent something with the intention of it being your own. As stated by Carson, creativity is the ability to engage and challenge the mind in all sorts of different ways, which also allow young people to retain new knowledge. Both science and art require a great deal of using a sense of creativity to make an expression of a product or experiment. Both creativity is reliant on being able to use observational skills and ability to understand and complete a synthesis, creating something new. Building on this, the first activity I chose to complete was a watercolor-based painting of the 4 different seasons. With my understanding of art and it being a strong point, I decided to use my knowledge I had on the primary colors and implement this within my work. I found the color theory was easy to relate back to this piece of work as suggested by the Interaction Design Foundation. Colors elaborately work together and affect our emotions that shift our perceptions and views. Colors that work well together convey and set the right mood and translate a message being conveyed. Despite having the option to choose a stimulus online, I decided against it. With my skills of creativity, I used my own interpretation skills to complete this activity the best way I knew how. For the seasons of summer, I used dark greens. Spring used light and dark greens. Autumn had yellow, brown, and red colors. And finally, for winter, I used the color blue, as it is a color primarily associated with the cold. During this activity, I thought of how much fun and educational this would be in my future classroom, as students would be able to conduct their own research and find their individual expressive forms through an implementation of art. As stated by Nessa, students can enhance and develop new skills using a range of techniques that explore their subject matter and increase their self-awareness in their individual intentions as artists. The next activity I chose to complete was a candy DNA model. I was a bit nervous to complete this activity, as science is not one of my strong points. I chose to complete this activity to challenge myself, and funny enough, it sparked my curiosity of wanting to know more on the subject matter. This required things that could be found in your pantry: a bag of lollies, licorice, and toothpicks. I used my problem-solving skills and found other alternatives of being able to stick the lollies through onto a toothpick, as it was very hard and sticky to do so. Each strand of a DNA was a backbone made up of phosphate and sugar groups, with the 4 bases for purple as thymine, red for adenine, yellow for cytosine, and yellow for guanine. I thought of the importance this would promote in my future classroom, as implementing this hands-on activity as such would show students a breakdown of DNA structures. As summarized by Hartley, there can be many advantages of teaching DNA within the classroom, and it builds and fosters a child understanding of basic concepts of the topic being taught, providing a foundation to build on progressive learning. The study of science will also allow students to explore and gain an insight into knowledge and understand the living world, and develop skills to perform through investigations and finding solutions to complex problems. The last activity I chose to create was an artistic piece of a landscape doodle drawing. The stimulus needed to be a real-life tree, and then needed to fill in the spaces with patterns, colors, shapes, and designs. My aim for this piece was to keep it aesthetically pleasing by using a variety of colors and shapes. With my interpretation, I found the color green, blue, and yellow to be associated with my own personal view of nature, therefore decided to mostly use those colors to complete the artwork. I found this activity very calming and peaceful, as it builds on one's cognitive skills and imagination, which can lead to creative forms of artwork. I thought about how I would implement this in my future classroom, and it would allow students to explore and investigate different forms of creativity and finding a real-life stimulus to turn into a piece of work. As summarized by Little Change creators, students would benefit from activity as such, as it will reduce stress levels, heighten their senses, and create a creative outlet. The importance of art in young children engages their self-esteem and creativity that can be applied in all different subject areas, not just art and science. By participating in this unit on offer at Western Sydney University as a part of my teaching degree, it has given me a greater appreciation for both art and science and its high value in the education system. I discovered through my research that both science and art are both human attempts to understand the world around us, also providing educational benefits and opportunities to develop critical thinking skills, conduct extensive research, and the ability to fully engage in creating something new, like an imaginary painting or conducting a high complex experiment. I learnt many things about myself and my artistic style, in which I've come to the conclusion is very fun, experimental, and innovative. Thank you.